Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. This is Kenya Revolutionary for another session. I'm just going to be brief, and I want to touch on something that has been grabbing my interest and attention. Um, I was scrolling through TikTok and YouTube and all that stuff. I'm on my break, just trying to look at videos and stuff. And I came across more than three videos that gave me chills in my spine, kind of. I know, ladies and gentlemen, this channel is always about Kenyan politics and world politics as it relates to Kenya. But today I'll switch it up a little bit because I think this is important to all mankind. So if you want to pay attention, that's okay. I'm not going to hold you for long. I just want to throw it out there, especially to the faithful. Listen, the reason why I'm touching on this topic is because, listen, um, we like the truth. We are truth seekers. We want to find out the truth. We love the truth. We want to overhaul the corrupt system of this world, especially in Kenya, to be specific. So politics is also tied in with, spirituality and all this stuff. I mean, you can, I've always given you an example of the current president, the young president from El Salvador, who transformed that country that was known as the number one capital for murder. It was known, it was, the gang members who are taking over, basically ruling that nation. And when he had an interview with Tucker Carlson, okay? For those of you who know that he's a journalist, former from MSNBC, but he's now independent, whatever the case is. But anyway, so he sat down with Tucker Carlson, and I played it in one of my videos. And so Tucker Carlson asked him, "Hey, how did you manage to transform this country from being a, drug-infested, gangs ruling this country, and violence, murder being the most unsafe country in the world, whether it's murder, muggings, and everything that comes in between. Okay, how are you able to transform this country?" And this current president of El Salvador, very young guy, probably in his late 30s or mid 30s or 40s, whatever the case is, and he said that, listen, this was a spiritual warfare, you know, and I had to win the spiritual battle first before I actually was able to implement and transform this nation. If you've been paying attention, actually, he offered Trump, he told him, "Hey, listen, if you have a problem with gangs and all these hardcore criminals that are being imprisoned, remember, US is the number one country as far as the number of prisoners, people who are incarcerated. Okay, the incarceration numbers are off the roof in the US. So this guy actually offered Trump and say, listen, if you have a drug problem in your country and you need to send them somewhere, send them to El Salvador, okay? There we shall transform them. So anyway, within a few years, a year or two of his administration coming in, he actually totally transformed El Salvador, and El Salvador now currently is one of the safest countries in the world. And again, his answer to that, his secret to that was this. He said he had to win the spiritual battle that that was the spiritual battle before the spiritual aspect of things before he had to deal with the physical. Now, what do I mean? Again, I will take you back. I'm not here to preach to you, but I'll just listen. This is real. This is real life. I know if you're not a spiritual guy or whatever the case is, you don't care about spirituality, you don't care about that stuff. It's all interconnected because all these world leaders, majority of them, not all, are heavily involved in occult, okay? Occultism, okay? Satanism, human sacrifice, all that stuff, okay? That's why you see them making choices that we fail to understand. I mean, do you remember Esther Irunga? Is it Esther Irunga, whatever, who was, shone some light on Freemasons in Kenya and how churches have been, infiltrated by these people, the human sacrifice and all that stuff, okay? So this is not something new. And, you've heard about the music industry, Hollywood, all this stuff that's happening, these musicians, how they sacrifice their members and their, whatever, members of their crew, family members, in order to move up the ranks so they can earn fame and get money and all that good stuff, okay? So this is not something that's a conspiracy theory, as some of you might think. This is real spiritual warfare. But I want to go back to what this president of El Salvador said, because it can also be related to the story of Daniel. I've always told that. I've made a video that briefly talked about this. For those of you who care, who know anything about the Bible, you know the story of Daniel when Daniel, was fasting for 21 days for the liberation or whatever the case of future of Israel or whatever the case is. And, God sent Angel Gabriel. I don't know if it was Angel Gabriel, but it was an angel nevertheless, because the angel of good news is always Gabriel, okay? But I don't know if it was Gabriel per se. Don't quote me on this because I kind of know the story, but I don't know the particulars. But I'll just, paraphrase what happens, okay? So this angel was sent by God to come deliver the news to Daniel, and he got to Daniel. Well, then Daniel, Daniel was moved, okay? He was shaken when the angel, even the people who were around there were, they were so scared. Daniel was numb and all that. Go read the book in the book of Daniel, whatever. So anyway, that angel, when he came to give Daniel the good news, he told Daniel, hey, listen, I'm paraphrasing again. He told Daniel, you've been favored or whatever in, heaven. God has favored you to deliver this news, whatever. Then, he told Daniel, listen, but I have to go back because, there's, the reason why that answer took 21 days is because this angel of the Lord was held up in the, in the cosmos, okay, by the king of Tyre and the king of Babylon, whatever, basically referring to these what we call principalities, okay? Principalities are basically these powerful demons that rule a particular area. So you might find that there's a huge, not a huge, but a powerful demon who is responsible for Africa, the whole of continent of Africa. The other one is in the continent of America, the one in Antarctica, whatever. So these are what we call principalities, okay? These demons that are powerful demons that rule over a section of area, okay? Then there are the small ones which work under them. So this angel told Daniel, hey, listen, I was held up for 21 days when I was on my way from heaven to bring you the good news. And I was held up by, remember, all the demons, all these principalities from across the world came and held him captive. And Angel Michael had to be released by God because Angel Michael is known to be, he's the angel of warfare, okay? He's the archangel for warfare. If there's any drama or any physical battle that needs to be fought, he's the one who's gonna, take the front line and set the record straight. We read that in the book of Jude when Moses died and the devil wanted to take the body of Moses. And again, we see Michael showed up and wrestled with the devil, wrestled off the devil to hide the body of Moses. So this is what I'm talking about. And again, I've listened to different testimony. This ex-gang member from Chicago, when he was explaining, the principalities. When he was a gang member, majority of the high-ranking gang members would give sacrifices and make enchantments to these principalities, these demonic forces that control sections of whatever they are, okay? And he explained that every 4 years these demons will take turns, okay? The one from Africa will go to Europe, the one from Europe will go to Africa, and so forth, so forth. So this is not something it's not conspiracy theory, but it might sound like some crazy stuff if you're talking to the carnal man, who doesn't care about spiritual stuff. But anyway, so basically what I'm trying to say is this: the spiritual world is real. Like I've said, if you look at Hollywood, all these celebrities who are involved in occult and making funny music. I mean, if you're a hip hop fan, you probably had countless, whether it's Eminem who was rapping about this, I don't know, 7 levels of devil worshipping. Tupac was talking about, demons try to flee from his brain. DMX has a line where he says, I sold my soul to the devil and the price was cheap. I can go on and on. Kanye West, said he sacrificed his mom for free lunch meal. Basically, I can go on and on just to prove to you that, hey, this thing is real. It's no longer like it's not conspiracy theory. Spiritual world is real. So anyway, not to get off topic. So what I'm saying is this: we are truth seekers. Okay, we are seeking the truth, and we'd like to know what's happening. So the reason why I'm bringing this topic today, called Feast of the Trumpets. Feast of the Trumpets is a Jewish New Year. Okay, is the celebration of the Jewish New Year, okay? It usually starts in September, and it's a two-day event. That's usually September 23rd and 24th, okay? It's a two-day thing, okay? Now, what caught my attention about this was that there's numerous compelling, touching testimonies of young men and women, old and young, of all ages across the globe, who are posting videos on YouTube and other platforms, TikTok and whatever, saying they're having visions and dreams about their numinous experience, you know, having an encounter with God, having an encounter with Jesus, having an encounter with angels, okay? And they're saying, there's one thing that they're saying, is that the return of Jesus Christ, rapture, let me just say that, because, okay, if you read the book of Revelation, if you look at the Bible, there's the rapture, then we have the 7-year tribulation period, then Jesus comes back to, you know, finish everything, okay? But the rapture, which is described in the First Thessalonians, where the true Christians, true believers of Christ, okay, the ones that are filled with Holy Spirit and are really doing the works and are really living that life, okay, not the fake ones. The true ones, we shall be caught up in the air. I mean, if you look at the Simpsons, if you watch the Simpsons, for those of you who will know watch Simpsons, there's an episode about rapture where, you know, it shows Dalai Lama who was left behind and he was crying, and the Dalai Lama was, oh my God, I'm sorry. The Lord of the true God, the Creator, has left me here. I've been, you know, worshiping the false God. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is this. What caught my attention and moved me to make this video is to try to share with you this, and you can do your own simple research. Just go to YouTube or TikTok, whatever the case is, and type this Feast of the Trumpets. Very, very men and women, young and old, have come out and say they've had visions and dreams in their sleeps or whatever the case is, and they have something in common. They're saying the message that they got in their dreams or in their vision, okay, was that Jesus gave them a clear instruction saying, I am coming back and I'm coming back soon, okay? And three in particular, who mentioned that September was going to be the day, because he said it's going to be the Feast of the Trumpets, okay, on that September. This one guy, he's a South African pastor, I think, has a very elaborate testimony about that. Then there's a lady from the US, I don't know what state, that also had a vision, and he had a vision of the rapture happening, and, you know, there was disruption in any aircraft, there was blackout and all that stuff, okay? People were disappearing, the true Christians were disappearing, and there was a child, there was a young man, young kid, you know, probably a preteen, who was screaming, and he's saying, September, 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 that the day of that, the Feast of the Trumpets is in September. There's a guy who wrote a book and predicted the resignation of the former Pope, the Pope that resigned, the one that came from Germany. I think, did he die or something? I forgot his name. The Pope before the Benedict. The German Pope, the one that came before the Argentinian one. The Argentinian one died, right? The one before that, I forgot his name. Okay, I think it was not Pope Francis. The one, I don't know, the one that came from Germany, right? The one that people are saying, oh, he was part of the Nazi, or whatever the case is. Anyway, that guy actually predicted, you know, had a prophesied exactly when that Pope will resign. He said he will resign, and he actually was correct. And he also came out and said, you know, if you are going by the prophetic timeline from Jesus' ascension to the current day, he predicted that this is the year 2025, and most likely during the Feast of the Trumpets, because remember, even in the First Thessalonians, it described how will the Christians be raptured. There shall be the angel of the Lord shall, whatever, they shall what do you call it? Blow the trumpets, then they shall be caught up in the air. Okay, so this guy also came out and said, hey, listen, most likely it's going to be this September 2025. Okay, they're saying it's going to be 2025. It's going to be the year. This September, which is after next month, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. And listen, I usually do not care much about, not that I don't care about prophecies. I don't pay much attention to them, but there was something about this video. The fact that different people from different parts of the world, of different races, different sex, different nationalities, different countries, different dialects, different culture, with the help of the internet, that is kind of, people can communicate from one part of the world to the other. People are coming out and speaking about the dreams and their vision, and they are warning the world, saying that, listen, this September might be it. This is it. This, during the Feast of the Trumpets, most likely will be the day that rapture happens. Now, what are the events that preceded rapture are supposed to happen? I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but for those of you who follow prophecy, it was last week or 2 weeks ago that the 3 red heifers, okay, were sacrificed in Jerusalem. Okay, 3 red heifers that they got them from Texas. Okay, they have to be red. It's, in order to, in preparation of the temple in Jerusalem. Okay, the Antichrist is coming. Okay, he's probably alive right now. Okay, as a matter of fact, I read somewhere that in the EU Parliament, there's a seat that its number is 666. It has been staying there. Nobody has ever sat in that seat. And it is said that it's the only empty seat in the EU Parliament. And guess who's going to be sitting over there? You take your guess is as good as mine. But anyway, the point I'm making is this. Could it be that this is it? Because all the signs leading up to rapture already have been fulfilled. The prophecy about what is to take place before rapture is already here. What else is to happen? Something to think about, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comments. I know some of you are not Christians, or do not believe in Jesus, or maybe you believe in Jesus and you don't think he's God, or whatever the case is. That's up to you. That's something to you. But I would impugn you to do your own research. Find your own truth. Whether you're a Christian believer in Christ or not, do your own research. This is serious. This is a warning to the world. It is going to happen. I don't know. It might not be September, but it's about to happen. There's just a feeling. I don't know why, but I feel it's about to happen. I don't know. It just drove me to do this. When you listen to this, I say this, I connect the dots. Again, for the umpteenth time, I will repeat it. It can't be a coincidence that people from different parts of the world, I mean, when these people are giving testimony, they are crying, pleading with the listeners. When they are giving this video, they're talking about this, saying, hey, listen, I've had an out-of-body experience, or whatever the case is, and I have been warned. Jesus have warned me that I have to tell mankind that this is it. This is it. He's coming. And he's not coming as the humble, sweet Jesus that you know from the Bible. He's coming to lay down the law this time. You like the truth? that's why I usually say, just to rope it up with what I was talking about with the El Salvador, president of El Salvador, that if you're going to seek the truth earnestly, honestly, diligently, it has to start with you. Even if for those of us who are from Kenya, whatever, we like Kenyan politics and we want to see change, it has to start with you. It has to start with the individual. It has to start with you. You know how we talk about Ukabila and all that, tribalism and all that stuff. Are you a tribalist? Are you biased based on tribe? Based on your color of skin? Are you? Check yourself. Take an inventory of your behavior, your intentions, your mindset, your thoughts, your deeds, your ambitions. What really draws you, attracts you? Are you honest with yourself? That's where I'm going with it. If you like the truth and you like justice, you have to do that internal audit of yourself, spiritual audit. Because let me tell you, what's happening in the world is not normal. This is not business as usual. The events that are happening in the world, whether it's the Middle East or elsewhere, the earthquakes, the signs, the funny things that we are seeing in the air in different parts of the world, UFO sightings and all this stuff, nothing normal about the times that we live in. And they are numerous. And it's written in the Bible that your sons and daughters and old men shall prophesy, shall have visions, dreams and visions, giving a warning to mankind that the end is nigh. But I want you to do, I want to give you homework today. Go, just go Google the Feast of the Trumpets. Feast of the Trumpets. Okay? Just even go to YouTube. Or just type Feast of the Trumpets prophecy. Everyone is talking about is expecting it to be this September. This is it. So here is the question from me to you. If indeed the rapture is going to happen in September, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for the rapture? Because now it's time to separate the chaff and the wheat and the chip from the chaff. Who's the real ordeal? Who's the real Christians? Who are the real true revolutionaries? Yeah? Mambo ya kusema amen and wearing nice suits and going to church. We're about to find out if you're a real deal or not. What's really in your heart? I'm sorry it sounds preachy today, but this is a topic that really moved me to speak about this, because I talk about what interests me. Politics, Kenyan politics, and world politics as it relates to Kenya. And Kenya, go listen to people who are making videos about Kenyan politics and the spiritual aspect of it. Dr. Mumbi tells you about the vibes, and not vibes, but the energies and all this stuff, and the occultic nature of how things are happening. You know, these leaders that you see, okay? Most of them are part of the occult. So why is it you're only entertained by the fact that you want to find out who's on the occult and what they do there? But when we start talking about on the other side, the light side, the truthful side about Christ, oh, now you're not interested. Oh, because you know what? When the truth is like a double-edged sword, it cuts both ways. It not only shines lights on those culprits we call politicians that are part of the occult, it also forces you to do a self-examination. Have a moment of introspection. Do an eternal audit. Feast of Trumpets mean, like I said, majority of people are giving visions and dreams saying the rapture might be as well be this September. The signs are clear. from the Middle East to Africa to Europe to the politics of the world. Where is the truth? If you care about the truth, which one is it? Is it time? Are you ready? Or is it going to be business as usual? I'm not going to preach to you today. I just wanted you to, just a homework for you, a personal homework. I have to give you homework. I have to give you homework if you care about the truth. If you don't, then I'm sorry. You can scroll in and let's go talk about the usual stuff that entertains. But how about the condition of your spirit, the spirit man? Not this body that's being fed food, the flesh. I'm talking about the spirit man. Because even all that politics that is that, actually, go Google the lady called Karen Hughes. She actually died I think last year or 2 years ago. She worked with World Bank and IMF and all this, whatever. She was like a smart lady from Harvard graduate, professor, whatever the case is. And she gave a startling testimony. It is said that she was poisoned, but I remember one of her testimony where she said that she got some information from her colleague, a professor, who told her that the people who actually rule this world, who write the policies for these different nations, are actually spirits, demonic spirits. These same people, same things that I've been talking about, principalities, that actually, that's where the world leaders take their orders from. That's what she said. This is somebody who has PhD. She's an accountant. She's, well, very educated. That's what she said. She's not crazy. She got poisoned. But anyway, I wanted to keep this video for 30 minutes because I don't want to sound like a broken record. I'm not a preacher. I'm not qualified to be one. But I want to share with you that thoughts. Do your own research. Because at the end of the day, everybody, each and every one of us shall be judged individually. I see you, Gypsy Corner, Principal Kaur, Karibu Sana, usisahau ku like the first order of business. I'm just on the topics. Like I say, I talk about things that interest me. And to me, I think this topic is beneficial to mankind to examine the condition of their soul. Because to me, I think something's about to happen. This rapture thing is real. The question is, are you ready? It's this September. In fact, the South African pastor that had his testimony, he said, there'll be no World Cup next year. There'll be no World Cup next year. The world will be in such a mess after rapture that no sports event will go on. People will be shocked. Everything will be disrupted. And you can hear now of everybody talking about reset, the great reset, the great reset, the great reset. We reset our economies. We reset our civilization, the great reset. Have you heard that statement now? Do you hear people talking about that, celebrities and all these politicians? The great reset, the great reset. Huh? Something's about to happen to shake the world. Jeff is telling me, what have you foreseen? I'm just saying. Even there's a bill now that there'll be digital currency in the US. Okay, and it's causing a lot of brouhaha because now people are talking about, your money can be, either they can activate how much you own or freeze it or do whatever they want. But I'm just saying, I'm leaning towards, I believe this September might be the Feast of the Trumpets, the calling, the rapture. I believe it. Gypsy say, Ozzy dying, everything is possible. Rest in peace, Ozzy. I hope he found some light at the end of the tunnel, even though he kind of looked like he was a satanist. I don't know his personal belief. He was a hardcore rock star. You know, he was always wearing black with crosses that are upside down. So I don't know what that brother went to. I don't know. I will not speculate. I don't know his relationship with God. I have no idea what his faith lies. But I just learned that he passed away yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? Whatever. It's been some days now. And also Malcolm. Yeah, Black Sabbath, whatever, member of Black Sabbath. And also Malcolm from the Cosby Show also passed away. So people are dying. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to share with you today. I just wanted to tell you guys, like, listen, I want you to, Gypsy Corner, if you're listening, Pritpal Kaur, go ahead and Google the Feast of the Trumpets, prophecy regarding rapture. Could it be this September 24th and 23rd is the D-Day where true believers of Christ shall be raptured, and we shall have this global reset, as the people of this earth call it. Is this the year? Like I say, a lot of people of all ages, of all different races, different parts of the world, are coming out with visions, testifying about their visions and dreams that they've had an encounter with Jesus Christ, saying that he's coming back soon. Warn the people of the earth that he's coming back. Get your life together. If you know you've been living, you're not living right, get it together. And most of all, they're saying that it might be this September, because the Feast of the Trumpets is always on the September 24th and 23rd. 2 days, 24th and 23rd. It's the new year of in the Jewish calendar. Okay? And it's also known as no one knows the time or the hour. That's also another name of it. What do you call it? Rational something, I forgot. Google it. Could it be this is the year? So yeah, so for those for you truth lovers, if you love the truth, if you want to live an honest life, honest with yourself, honest with your God, you need to find out about this Feast of Trumpets. Look at all the testimonies and why people think this might be it. Okay? Anyway, it's been 33 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comrades. I won't keep you longer than I have. But like I say, my main ambition for making this video is for you to actually look into what I'm telling you right now about the Feast of the Trumpets. Why a lot of scholars, a lot of people are coming out with testimonies saying that this September might be the D-Day for the true faithful, true believers of Jesus Christ to be raptured and caught up in the heavens. That's when the reset will happen here on earth. It's up to you. You might believe me or not. That's up to you. I'm not proselytizing for any kind of faith, but I subscribe to the fact that Jesus is the Messiah, is God, and he's coming back. That's for sure. That's for sure. It's up to you to make a decision. You might be of a different faith. Do your own research. Anyway, that's all. I'll leave it there, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Gypsy Corner, nice seeing you. I know. We'll talk in the next. Catch me in the next live. I'll talk to you guys there. Make sure you subscribe, share, like, comment, and do all the good stuff. I'll see you later. Peace and blessings. I'm out.